Hallöchen, Scarlet Hollow Freunde, es geht weiter. Wir gehen jetzt zum Forbidden Wing mit Stella. Ja. Oder wir gehen zuerst durch die Stadt anscheinend. Kein Skip da hinten, aber ja. The walk through the town is quiet. It's early. And though you can smell the diner cooking up breakfast for hungry miners and brewing coffee for cops to sip while ignoring the horrors plaguing Scarlet Hollow, Main Street is deserted. You and Stella feel like the only people in the world, watching the sun rise over the abandoned library. The estate looms over the three of you, more unwelcoming than it's ever been, as if the small bit of time you've spent away in a warm house still full of love that built it has made the mere thought of the crumbling manor unbearable. Da Gretchen mit dem Konzernfeld. Oh Mann. Oh dear, I forgot how dreadfully thin the air all the way up here is. However, does Miss Tabitha survive at so great an altitude? Perhaps that's why she's got such a sour disposition. Wow, I can barely remember the last time I made my way up that hill. Her lane didn't exactly make it easy for me to see Tabitha, so we usually hung out anywhere else we could think of. Around had a tendency to shoot first and ask questions later, so I figured it was best not to risk winding up at the business end of her shotgun. You only make that mistake once. It's sad to see how much worse it's gotten. The cliff used to be a lot farther away from the house, but it's claimed a lot of ground. The place looks like it could fall any day now. It used to be such a beautiful house. Together, you cross the threshold. Ancient door creaking open to reveal the familiar, dusty foyer. Knowing Tabitha isn't here to keep you in line gives the place a new feeling, like you have complete ownership of the place, and that any secrets it once held are yours to be uncovered, if only you can figure out where to look. You can feel how much the floor is tilting. Jeez, the place has really gone to the dogs since the last time I was here. Why, I take offense to that. If it had gone to the dogs, there would be considerably more comfortable killers and considerably less cat. I can smell it already. That loathsome feline stench pervades every inch of this house. Everything feels so much older and disused. I can't believe Tabitha is still living here. I'm sure she has a lot of memories tying her to the place, but it feels like it could come down around our ears any second. So, where to first? Head to your bedroom. Let's go up to my room first. Ich möchte das denn sehen. Oh, there's something up there you want to show me? Stella gives you a flirtatious wink. Lead the way. The two of you make your way up the rickety stairs and into the guest room. Diable. Ah. Die Katze. Uh-huh. Oh, sorry, Frou-Frou. So we meet again, Frou-Frou. Why, it has been ever long. I'm sure you've missed me terribly. If only you were in the grave where you belong, I could spit upon it. You'll have to wait a while to indulge in that pleasure, my dear feline friend. There they go, growling and hissing at each other like always. Gretchen usually gets along really well with cats, but I guess Frou-Frou is just too much of a capital C cat. While I am loath to part with the lovely warm spot I've made on these empty sheets, I cannot stomach your foul doggy stench any longer. Frou-Frou leaps from his spot on the bed, launching into the hallway and galloping down the stairs. Good riddance. Anyway, if I remember correctly, this is Perlane's old room, right? Tabitha really wasted no time getting this place turned over for guests. Someone has been here. The closet is wide open, and its contents have been dragged out into the room. The discolored residue smeared on some of the larger boxes, giving you a hint as to who might have been behind the invasion of privacy. Holy shit, that mess has gotta be Wayne, right? I think I'd know if you were that messy. Check in on Dustin. Wichtig. You make your way to the dresser, pulling out the drawer to check on the little opossum and his mom. But they're gone! Was dust? But they're gone. You rifle through the nest you made for them, but no possums lurk within. It's just an empty drawer. Oh, are you getting changed? I'll give you some privacy. Or not, whichever. Good grief, it absolutely reeks of opossum in here. Dustin is missing. Something has happened to my dear opossum friend Dustin. Ja, das ist meine Reaktion gewesen. Huh? You have a little opossum friend named Dustin who lives in your drawers? The drawers next to where you sleep? Sorry, your friend wandered off. Opossums are very cute. I can understand why you'd worry. I guess Rufru probably spooked him. But he's a wild animal, so he'll be fine on his own. And I'm glad you took that shower at my place. You slide the drawer shut. Does that mean this is where Perlane died? Na, das will ich nicht wissen. Investigate the closet. You and Stella cross the room to investigate the open closet door. The back of it hangs slightly ajar. It looks like it was never a solid wall at all, but rather a door, previously hidden behind the pile of boxes and papers. It was dragged out of the way overnight. There's no doorknob, only a small circle of metal where a doorknob would be, punctuated with a hole. Is that a hidden door? Yes, I knew it. I knew there were gonna be hidden passages. Stella whips out her camera, nearly fumbling and dropping it in excitement, but she regains her steadiness, aiming into the gloom of the closet at a sliver of light from the room beyond. Stellars, you're not gonna believe this. We're here in the Scarlet estate, trying to get to the bottom of what exactly is going on around town, and have just uncovered the hidden door in Vanny's closet. I think you're right, Stella. Wayne is behind this. Yup. And I mean, Wayne knows about the layout of the Scarlet estate? You know, I'm really starting to wonder what he has to do with all this. I don't like how close he seems to think he is with you. But maybe he knows what's going on. We're going in. That's right. You both step forward, Stella filming as she dramatically opens the door. Its hinges creaking appropriately. Together, you enter the forbidden wing of the Scarlet estate. The room you find yourselves in is almost barren, with no real furniture to speak of. The wallpaper is peeling with neglect, and the floor tilts uncomfortably beneath you. Already, you can see why Tabitha would be so intent on keeping you out of these unused rooms. This doesn't feel like a place for humans anymore. Stella continues forward excitedly, camera held up to catch every detail. You follow her into the hallway beyond the small forgotten room. Wow, an exclusive look at the ruins of the Scarlet estate. If we don't find anything supernatural in here, this is already great stuff. Oh Stella, it's a miracle we've survived so long. The place you drag me to sometimes, my goodness gracious. Aber Gretchen würde riechen, wenn irgendwas falsch ist, ja. Before you is a long hallway, 8 stained curtains, fluttering in the breeze flowing in through cracked glass. Weak sunlight illuminates the dust dancing on the air. An ornate entryway, its door long gone, breaks the monotony of the faded wallpaper, and the staircase looms at the far end. Oh nein. Nicht den Staircase hochgehen. Oh, those are fresh prints. He zooms in on what you now notice a faint trail of human footprints along with the dusty floor of the hallway. Those prints belong to that vile shell of a man. I'm certain of it. His scent is unmistakable. Looks like our friend has been doing some exploring of his own. We'll have to be careful. I'd rather not run into him while sneaking around in here. Investigate the ornate entryway. You both make your way to the dark doorway in the middle of the corridor. Oh, ich erinnere mich an den Raum. Ich glaube, man kann in den Raum rein, wenn man das Schloss aufkriegt. Ich weiß nicht, ob es Street Smart ist oder irgendwas, ein Trade, aber ja. Den man gebraucht hat, um direkt an Tag 1 reinzukommen, deswegen. Seems like some kind of entertainment room. The sort you'd expect out of a fancy... You'd expect out of fancy rich people who wanted to show off. It would feel elegant if not for the massive crack that runs the entire length of the floor. The air here stinks of mildew. You can see why Tabitha doesn't want you exploring these rooms. There's a large painting on the far wall of the room. From a distance, it looks like it might depict the town. Jeez, it's a miracle any of this is still standing. Tabitha should really think about moving before this half of the house decides to finish falling down a cliff. This room makes my nose tingle, and not in a pleasant sense of the word. Stella excitedly films B-roll of the ruined parlor. Something else catches your eye too. A bookshelf, or rather, what's left of a bookshelf, hanging by a single rusted hinge. Ich sehe es nicht. Irgendwo. Its sagging shelves reveal some sunless space beyond, once hidden, now exposed by the rot of this house. And it seems Stella has spotted it too, as she turns the camera toward the dark entryway. Hidden room? Oh man, the fans are gonna love this. Investigate the hidden room. Yup. Stella takes you by the hand, a firm grip, lending you a sense of security, even as you both step over the wide gap in the floor. Together, you duck between the shelves, stepping over water-damaged books and into the darkness of the hidden room. The space is dark, its features barely illuminated by the faint light trickling in through the myriad of cracks and holes in the walls. The wallpaper, a deep, exquisite red, adds a blood-like glow to the dimness. Okay, was zur Hölle geht hier ab? Ah, Confederate Striker. Auch noch. Mhm. Okay. Buffalo. What the hell is this? Was zur Hölle ist dieses Vieh da? Kann mir das jemand sagen? Danke. The walls are lined with ornate display cabinets, some empty, some still presenting their antique treasures. Nestled between the cabinets, a single tall bookshelf remains standing, its occupants dusty, but mostly intact. But all of these are ornamental details. Your focus is drawn to an expensive-looking antique desk in the center of the room. This room stinks to high heaven, and it's a lively stink, not like the dead stink of the rest of this awful house. Unless my nose deceives me. I do believe there's some kind of wild animal in here. A possum. A possum, if I had a hazard to guess. But if anything tries to lay a single paw on my Stella, they'll have hell to pay, mark my words. Oh my god. Gretchen barks out at the rest of the room, attempting to intimidate whatever it is she smells. Shh, Gretchen, we want anybody to find us here. Who knows what they might try to seal it back up. Amontillado style. Gretchen quiets down, but that doesn't stop her from thoroughly investigating the space. This is Stella's, the kind of find every urban explorer hopes for. A hidden room, locked away in the Scarlet estate, full of weird artifacts and keepsakes no one was ever supposed to find. They weren't counting on a couple of investigative documentarians like us to go looking, but here we are, about to blow your family's sordid past wide open. Examine the desk. You step toward the desk. Maybe there's something worth finding in its drawers. Ich hoffe das then. Open the top drawer. Oh no. The top drawer mostly contains old-timey letter writing materials, complete with a fancy dagger-shaped letter opener and a wax stamping kit emblazoned with the initials ES. The wax seems slightly gnawed. And if you find a pile of crumbling financial documents, scrawled in neat cursive, in every spot that needed a signature, is the name of Enoch Scarlet. This must be his desk, meaning this must also be his study. And hidden among the documents you find an ancient photograph. A stern blonde man stares up at you from the detritus at the bottom of the drawer. A face you're surprised to find you recognize. It's the man from your vision, the one in the hospital bed. Hey, I've seen that before. That's a picture of Theodore they put in the local history books. That's your great-great-uncle or something. The one who died in a collapse. Tell Stella about your vision. I had a vision about him yesterday. No way. Enoch said he was working with a witch and that she'd be able to help him fix things. But this was in the hospital after the collapse. Nope. Stella focuses the camera on you as to explain the vision you saw yesterday. She's clearly shocked by this revelation, drinking in every word, eyes growing wide. A witch? And then somehow they managed to convince the whole town that Teddy died in a collapse? But if he didn't, and some witch was involved. Sounds to me like your family has more than just Charlie Shaw's skeleton in their closet. Close the drawer. You close the drawer. Open the bottom drawer. The bottom drawer offers some resistance as you try to pull it out. It seems that it was locked. though the bit of metal attempting to hold it shut seems to have rusted to the point of use years ago. It gives in with a sharp tug, rotting wood splintering softly somewhere within the century-old desk. Oh my God! Sie sind da! Sie leben noch! You're surprised to see familiar faces staring up at you from within a nest of odd glass vials. I mean, then we get at them. I tear their little throats out. Whoa, hey, calm down, Brett. We don't need you getting right up right now. Please, no kill, Dustin. Dustin already dead. Dustin and Dustin's mom play dead. No, Gretchen. Dustin and Dustin's mom are my friend. You don't need to fight them. Then? Why, I didn't know you went around befriending every disgusting little wild animal in town. I was unaware I associated with someone of such low breeding. Though, I suppose I could learn something from you. It could reflect well on me. To choose to mingle with the occasional riffraff, one shouldn't be too unkind to those who are lesser, even if it means I must put up with such odorous beasts as these. Dann guckt sie euch an. Oh mein Gott, ich liebe Opossums. Yes, I will somehow find in my heart to look past this. I am a lady after all. As the barking stops, Dustin stirs, life returning to his tiny body, though his mom remains in her half-dead state. That's right, Dustin and human friends. And human, big and strong, protect Dustin from ugly dog. How did you get here, Dustin? Other human come into room. Scary human. It scared Dustin and Dustin mom. Other human did much moving around. Dustin afraid that Dustin house would be moved too, and maybe Dustin would be eaten by scary human. But Dustin know that about many places to hide, so Dustin and Dustin mom come here. Are there any secrets you know about the Forbidden Wing? Secrets? Dustin not know about many secrets. Dustin know upper rooms scary. Smell like blood and storms. No good hiding places when human come. That's why Dustin down here instead. Nobody ever come here. Plenty little dark place to sleep too. Other secret Dustin know is stuff that look like food in other small house. Not actually food. It not stop Dustin from try to eat it though. Could turn into food when Dustin not looking. Can I pet you? I will be very gentle. Dustin appears to think about this, glancing at the form with pseudo-dead mother, then back up to you. Okay. You carefully run a hand along Dustin's back, rubbing him gently between the ears. He closes his eyes, seemingly to enjoy the interaction as much as you do. He feels oddly greasy, and his fur is coarse and thick, but his tiny body is warm and comforting beneath your palm. Aw, how sweet. I'll edit that part out of the video. We don't need commenters starting any fights about petting wild animals. They won't understand that you have some otherworldly bond with every animal you meet. Though maybe exploring that could make for an interesting new series. Are you gonna come back to live in my room? This is just Dustin's house on weekend, but Dustin can wait for next weekend. I don't suppose you could let me have those vials you're sitting on? Dustin glances down at the vials underneath him and his death-painting mom. He takes a moment before responding, clearly thinking long and hard about it. Hey, weird eggs not as warm as nice clothes human gave Dustin anyway. You slide a number of vials from beneath Dustin and his mom, who's still stiff as a board. A tiny trickle of drool leaks out from the corner of her mouth, leaving a damp trail along the width of the... Bye, Dustin. Bye, Dustins mom. Hey. Liebe die beiden. You close the drawer, returning Dustin and Dustin's mom to their hideaway, before returning to Stella with your haul of glass vials. Dustin, lucky human have rare good nature. Lucky human reign and hell beast. Dustin almost die like siblings. Alright, let's see what we've got in these bad boys. You can do the honors while I hold the camera. Open the vials. You hold up one of the vials, twisting the cork. It unseals with a pop, releasing a smell like an old pond, like decaying leaves and damp earth. You tug at the corner of the slip of paper. It unfurls, the writing across its surface as crisp and clear as if it had just been written. To Miss Maeve, I know it has been several years since my last visit, but I do hope you remember the young lad who used to find himself at your doorstep more than you probably would have liked. I write you now with the utmost urgency. I'm not sure if news has yet reached you regarding what transpired just yesterday. but the paper dissolves before you can finish reading it, as if it finally realized that it had been submerged all these years, turning into a useless pulp between your fingers. These papers smelled so strange, like the woods at night, or old leaves. I would be able to pinpoint it better if not for the overwhelming reek of those filthy opossums. Dang, maybe I could get through that? I turned to mush before I could get through a few lines. I can only make out bits and pieces, something about Miss Maeve. Yeah, that was about all I got too. Man, it's almost like it was made to not be read. Or it's just really old. Still, and if we keep going, we can piece enough of it together. What do you think? Unlikely you will have the chance to return here, and the vials seem too delicate to safely carry with you. Keep reading, keep reading. You open another. Miss Verena, trouble with tea. Your presence requested at once. And another. Verena, know what you tried. Do not appreciate the attempt at subterfuge. But we both. Again, it dissolves. All letters are addressed to this Miss Maeve and are signed ES. You can assume these have to be from Enoch. Many seem unimportant, just listing a time and place. You assume meetings between Enoch and whoever this Verena may have been. For you and Stella know it, the drawer is empty. The drawer around you scattered with drained vials. And the air stinking of wet rot. Yes, that's gotta be Enoch Scarlet. And that Maeve would be the witch he was talking about in your vision. The one who could fix their problems. Or maybe the witch is Verena. Hard to say. Other than that, I'm at a loss. Maybe this will all make more sense once we've explored more of the estate. Step away from the desk. Step away from the desk. You've seen enough. Examine the painting in the parlor before returning to the hallway. You've seen enough. Ich möchte das Painting nicht investigaten, aber machen wir es trotzdem. You and Stella stop by the painting in the parlor on your way back to the hallway. The painting highlights a number of old buildings and locales, many of which you've already visited. The town hall, the estate, the mines, and the clinic, still called a hospital at the time of this painting, the church, and then there's somewhere you've yet to see. The historical Callaway, Remain Homestead. And that would be our little town. Oh, there's a plaque under it, in commemoration of Enoch Scarlet, head of the Scarlet Hollow Landmark Revitalization Project. Let the past never be forgotten. Oof, I feel like writing something like that instead of asking to wind up gathering dust in a neglected room like this. Let this be a lesson to all my viewers looking to immortalize their life's work. So, or two of you maybe. Okay, let us see where those footprints lead. Yup. You find yourself on the third floor of the estate for the first time. As you take in your surroundings, Stella slowly pans the camera down the length of the hall, working to build dread and tension for future viewers. She clears her throat again, resuming her narration in a charmingly professional hosting voice. Clearly, Vane and I are not the only people who have passed through the supposedly forbidden wing. Who knows, we might wind up running into someone else sneaking around in here. If you're watching this as found footage after the two of us went missing, now you know where to start looking for our bodies. Drops the camera after her morbid joke, her voice returning to its usual casual cadence. Looks like the footprints go all the way down this hallway into that far door. Approach the window. Carefully approach the window at the far end of the hall. That sure is a cliff. There's nothing below the window but the tops of distant trees, the ground having crumbled away. The only thing stopping you from plummeting to your death is the straining foundation that still somehow holds this place together. At least for now. Jesus. Move the boxes from in front of the nearest door. The boxes slide out of the way with a bit of elbow grease. You push past them into the room beyond. I was so fixated on the footprints I didn't even realize there was a room there. It probably means it has some really good stuff. The kind of stuff people put away, hoping nobody will ever find it. The kind of stuff that makes for a great video. The room is coldly her ladyship chambers. Explore Edwardine's bedroom. Okay. Das ist gerade das Steam Achievement, was ich bekommen habe. The room is coldly open. A large antique bed is made. its sheets ancient and dusty, but still somehow giving off the feeling of tidiness, even with cobwebs stretched between each corner of its four-poster frame. Search the desk. You step towards the desk, its drawers practically overflowing with stationery. You start opening drawers. Each one is filled with paper, stacked effortlessly, practically spilling out as you attempt to dig through for anything important. There better not be any more vermin in these drawers. I've met just about enough uncivilized creatures for today. Thank you very much. All these bills and receipts are in Edward's name. I guess we know whose desk this is. The rest of the room is so neat and tidy. It's amazing that her drawers are such a hoarder's nest of old paper. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Scarlet ladies have always been like this, pretending they have everything together on the surface and being a total mess on the inside. Sounds like Tabby to a T. Oh, don't tell her I said that. When you reach the bottom right drawers, you find something entirely different. Greeting cards, letters, more wrapped packages, some open, some sealed, some crumpled into messy balls. Happy birthday, old geese. Princess for a day. You open one of the cards. Both pages are taken up by a handwritten note. Tabby, hope you're doing well. Not a day goes by that I don't miss you. Hope Perlane treats you to your best Christmas yet. I'm not sure what sort of doodads you're into these days, so I said a little something that made me think of you. I made sure they were the best shells of the bunch. Not sure how rare of them are, but they're awful pretty. And they've still got that beach smell. And make sure you put your ear up to them too. It doesn't compare to the real thing, but it comes close enough. And in case you think that makes me a cheapskate, I made sure to send along a little cash too. Yetke says something a little nicer than glorified beach trash. Make sure you get Perlane, take you to the nice toy store, because that's where I'd take you if I was there. If you get the time, I'd love to hear from you. I miss you so much, Tabby, and I'm always thinking of you. You can come out and visit me anytime. I know you've always wanted to see what it's like out east. I made sure to write out my address on the back of this card, just in case you didn't know how to get a hold of me. Been missing you, my incredible, wonderful, amazing daughter. All my love, Dad. Oh my god. Stella lowers the camera, averting its gaze from the deeply personal letters. Tabby said her dad never tried to get in touch, that he just abandoned her. You pull out another, from closer to the top of the pile. Happy birthday, Tabby. It's me again, your old dad. So, the big 2-0. I can't believe my daughter is such an adult. In my mind, you're still that bouncy little kid doing cartwheels on the front lawn. You're telling me what various sounds animals make, like you're the professor of animal noises. I have no idea if you read these, but I keep writing them, even if sometimes it feels like I'm writing them to a ghost. I mean, we haven't spoken in almost 15 years. You're a whole human being now, and I have no idea what you're like. I like to think we'd get along, though. As always, my address is on the back. I hope you'll decide to come visit me one of these days. I've got a guest room all set up, just in case. It's always ready for you, kid. I love you, and I always will, no matter who you turned out to be. Love, Dad. There are years and years of these. The bottom drawer is almost entirely unopened envelopes, dated from when Tabitha would have been just a kid, all from him. It kind of looks like Edwardine and Perlane were keeping these from Tabitha, on purpose, for practically her entire life. I don't even know if we should tell her. I mean, there could have been a good reason, right? I think maybe he was awful and telling her would just be painful and dredge up bad memories, but Tabitha deserves one good thing in her life. I don't care if she yells at us for snooping around back here. You're right, she has to know the truth. Search the closet. You make your way to the closet. It's as lifeless and tidy as the rest of the room. It seems Edwardine kept things neat and orderly. Or as neat and orderly as she could, considering the decaying state of the place. This looks to me like where Perlane would go shopping for Tabby's clothes. It's exactly the sort of thing she wears. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've seen her in that dress before. The only thing here beside her clothes and shoes in the box is a box. Shoved off to one side, you pick it up. Child-sized overall, ripped shirts, A small pair of trousers with suspenders still attached. One of those little sailor suits boys from the 50s were always wearing. Boys' clothes, that's weird. When was the last time a boy was born into the family? Oh, Mommy, I am here too, and I love you. When you pull out the last shirt, a note is revealed, tucked away in the bottom of the box in a protective plastic sleeve. It's scrawled in almost illegible handwriting, written in some thick brown watery ink that's cracked with age. Mommy, I am here too, and I love you. What the? Even through the shiny stuff, I can smell the blood, and it's nice smelling blood either. Put that foul thing back where you found it before it sends me to frenzy. It's okay, Gretchen, you don't have to squirm so much. It's just paper, really, really creepy paper. Stella zooms in on the unsettling note, making sure the camera takes in every detail. Okay, I got the footage I need. We'll put that back before you get a curse from it or something. You drop the note back into the box, once again covering it with the cloth. Box, what you just saw was found in the bottom of the box of boys' clothes hidden away in Edwardine's Scarlet closet. Yet the only children she supposedly ever had were 2 girls. This mystery is getting so thick it's gone from gumbo to gravy. Jesus Christ. Stella squeezes your arm. Yeah, hopefully that note hasn't cursed us both. And if it has, well, we can add it to the pile. Because with everything we've seen lately, we're probably carrying a few already. So. Bevor wir zum Hallway returnen, würde ich sagen, wir beenden die Folge hier. Ich bedanke mich fürs Zuschauen. Und wir sehen uns dann beim nächsten Mal, wenn wir den Forbidden Wing hoffentlich finishen. Also dann, tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.